Okay, so this morning I'm on my way to the Hoghton Classic Car Show. Starts in about an hour, but on the way, today's video really is about fitting this Apple CarPlay. It's a Seicane 10.2-inch display, and to be honest, this is something like what I think should be fitted in all cars these days. No expensive audio system, just an interface, because everything works off your phone better, and your phone's being constantly updated. And believe me, when a car gets older these days with the multimedia system, the sat-nav system, when it gets to a certain age and the sat-nav system goes wrong, then it ain't worth replacing. The whole car is basically scrap. We've just had one in a BMW. It's about 2.5 grand, something like that, and it's just stupid. So this is basically just an interface and a screen that you can work your phone through. This one doesn't have speakers, but you can Bluetooth your phone through your speaker, and you can control through this kind of head unit. So anyway, we'll get going. I'll just turn on, but again, I must warn you that if it's not an Ami you're fitting this to, the soundbar, make sure it's not mounted, and make sure this isn't mounted anywhere near an airbag, because if an airbag goes off and it hits the back of that, the next thing it's going to be in your face, or in your passenger's face, or it'll basically become shrapnel in your car, and you just don't want it. Make sure, fortunate or unfortunate as the case may be, there's no airbags in the Ami, so we're all okay. So I've just switched it on. As you can see, it's connecting to my phone here. If I just go to mobile internet there, it should, that's it. So the Apple CarPlay's come up. If I go to home, we'll just show you the reversing camera, which I think is quite handy. So if I go there, there is a little red wire off the camera. If I wire that to my reversing light, as soon as I put it in reverse, it'll come on, and that's the screen. So that's really good. We'll just go forward. There we go. You can see there. So it's now easy enough to reverse the Ami without looking. There you go. And you can also actually, there is a screen that you can set. Let me just see. I can't remember which screen it is. So into settings, CarPlay position resolution, G-sensor loops, parking time, screensaver setting guideline. There we go. So yeah, so right, let's just go back. If I can just take that in like so. So I can just kind of set that now with a bit of luck. Right, so we need to move that over there and that there, like so. And then with a bit of luck, I'll just be able to get in my parking space at night. So we'll go forward. And by going forward, I mean put it in drive. So here we go, let's have a look. Reverse. Well, I'm happy with that. So let's get going. Right, we'll go back to mobile internet. Just wait for it to pick up again. So here we go. Now, you don't have to use your hands at all. My phone's there. I'm going to put my phone away. So that's away. It's connected here. If I turn, where's my remote control? Got everything else here. So my remote control, that's turned on the speaker. The music is paused because I don't want to get a copyright strike, but my phone, the Apple CarPlay unit, and the soundbar are all synced now. So, hey Siri, Navigate to Hoghton Tower.
Getting directions to Hoghton Tower.
Now it's saying there it's come up with Hoghton Tower and it's got a screen go.
Starting route to Hoghton Tower.
You don't have to press anything on the screen. If you just leave it, it will go automatically. I know where I'm going anyway, so hey Siri, cancel navigation.
Okay, it stops now.
If you want music, hey Siri, shuffle music. Hey Siri, pause music. Right, we'll do without Jessie J. I wish it was a little more sturdy. I might have to do something about that. But also you can drive, you can use it with the dash cam. There's an SD card in it at the moment, so it's recording front and rear. There's the rear parking camera is also a dash cam. Now I've changed that. The one that comes with the unit is quite a flimsy thing in my opinion, and I've changed it for a better one that I got with another dash cam. But there's like a multi-pin plug, so this better dash cam just plugs into it, and I've got it stuck in the back window, so that's fine. The other one I think will go outside and it's waterproof. I don't think this one is, so I'm going to leave that. All the other stuff you can do with it, again, without taking your hands off the steering wheel, really. Hey Siri, text Barry. I'm just testing the Apple Carplay unit in my new Citroen Ami.
I'm just testing the Apple Carplay in my new Citroen Ami. Send it.
Yes, please.
Done.
So you probably won't be able to hear that, I don't think. I've just sent a text, and you'll see there I've got a text. I'm going to go to the home screen. Just wipe along there. You'll see there I've got a text. So in a short while, when it's a bit quieter, there's a car behind me, I'll try and do a better demonstration than the one I've just done for sending the text. But if you're anything like me and you get a text, you want to know who sent it and what it says. For me, it could be business, of course, and you are tempted, even though I don't do it, to look at your phone. So we'll just wait. I'll just take a quick detour here and slow down a bit. Hey Siri, read texts.
Barry said, I'm just testing the Apple CarPlay in my new Citroen Ami. Would you like to reply?
No, thank you.
Those are all your messages.
So it will read messages. You can listen to audiobooks. There's my audiobooks. WhatsApp, you can send WhatsApp messages. This particular one has also got, I think it's got Zap Map on to find the nearest charging station. It's Amazon Prime, YouTube Music. There we go. I'll probably have to log into that, I would imagine, because I don't think I've logged in. Yeah, you must log in. But as I say, the earlier video was about fitting it. It's very, very easy to fit. USB power source. If you're not going to use the extra USB plug and the extra aux in, then it's just a USB power source and it all works fine. So it just either plugs into here, or I've got the USB hub here, so it's just one of 4 that's plugged in. if you want to use the park facility, where there's a camera on the back here, I need to set it up. It doesn't, my setup, it doesn't really work. In your setup on the dashboard, if you have it on the dashboard or on the top there, it will work better. But again, I must stress, don't stick it to your dashboard. Don't stick it anywhere near an airbag that could come out. You know, I mean, there's certain cases with airbags. I've heard of people having their feet on the dashboard when they've had a crash and the airbags exploded, or even a bunch of keys, because cars these days have knee airbags or underneath the steering wheel. Bunch of keys, airbag goes off, next minute you've got a bunch of keys in your knee, which I'm sure nobody wants. Brilliant system. You can also set, I mean, you can set reminders, and you can set meetups. If you're going somewhere and you want to know, you can put your position on Apple Maps, and the other person that you're going to meet can see where you are. Like yesterday, I was meeting my girlfriend in town at 7:15. Well, that's 7:15 my time, not 7:10. But I would have been able to look and see where she was and see her approaching. And it's the same on here. If you're meeting somebody, you can. There you go. That's the full screen. There's all sorts of things that you can do. So I think it's a good addition to the Ami, especially. Somebody asked me yesterday, because I only go to work and back usually. Well, that was my intention, go to work and back. But you know, I was going to just use it during the week and then go home in my Range Rover at weekends. But I don't really use a car at weekend now. I probably walk into town for something to eat or a drink, and I walk home. The car sits on the in my parking space. No problem. So I haven't used anything else. As far as rejecting the car, again, still, I've had no answer from Citroen. Last I heard, they sent one email a week, once asking me which garage I got it from, and once asking me what my registration is. So, and I've heard nothing since, despite me emailing them and asking them what the score was. So, I don't hold out much hope with them. I've done over 1,000 miles in it now, and I was working out that 1,000 miles in my Range Rover, I've only done it in my head, so it could well be wrong. But it's about 270 quid's worth of fuel that I've not used. 270 quid in my pocket. There is a charge. Again, when I went to the Citroen meet last week, the chap runs an EV6, and he was saying his overnight charging rate is 7p a kilowatt. So it had cost him 6-7p's to charge this fully, a negligible amount. So you can imagine the sort of money you'd save. I've done a bit of moaning on this channel, but I'm sure, or hopefully, it would have come across that my moaning was at Citroen and not the car itself. I'll stress again, it goes as fast as I need it to go, and it goes further than I need it to go for my purpose. If you need something that does 50 miles an hour with a 100-mile range, then the Ami's not for you. You know, don't moan about it. Don't come in the forum and say, you know, I'd have bought one if it did 50, or I'd have bought one if it had a 100-mile range. It doesn't, so you were never going to buy one. So shut up, keep your opinions to yourself. All they do is annoy the rest of us in the forum who knew what we were buying, who researched the vehicle, and who knew we could make it work. So that's that. The door on the car hasn't got any worse, and I am of the opinion now it was damaged in transit. Looks like it might have been quite a fair hit on the door, but it's flexed, stretched, marked, and looks like I'm stuck with it. I don't want a new door. Further updates, the n3d.it accessories that I bought to start off with. I'm still using the roller blind, although I'll probably look to replace that with one that I'll design and get made myself. The sun visors, the car is so far away from you at the front, you would have to have very strange sun conditions to need them, and they just work their way loose. They flip up out of the way, but when you do put them down a couple of times, and that's only been for show and demonstration, somehow they come undone and then they just keep falling down. So I've taken them off because they were just obscuring my cameras. I couldn't get them out of the way. So that was a waste of money. My window catch there, pretty much a waste of money too. Somebody said put a couple of tie wraps. I think in order for it to work effectively, you would have to drill a hole. It's here somewhere. So that's it. In order for it to work effectively, you would have to drill a hole through there and put a couple of tiny tie wraps right through the hole and tighten them up. My idea is better, I think. Make a little plug, 3D print a little plug there with an angled side, so that as you put it in, it spreads these legs out and stays in. It still doesn't stop it from turning. So perhaps an even better design would be to encompass that. It's not a huge problem. It sticks open, and even when it's really warm, there's quite a breeze comes in from this window, so I tend to just have the passenger one open. The door mirrors, I'm forever, or when I first got it, I'm forever having to adjust that door mirror, and I'm going to have to adjust it again because it's moved again, and I don't know whether somebody's doing it on purpose to annoy me, but I've tightened up. There's an Allen screw in there, and there's a Phillips screw at the back of there which tightens it up. I'm always conscious that I don't want to strip the threads, so I don't want to tighten it up too much, but I'm just going to probably give it another quarter of a turn on both and hope that that stays in. I did the same on that side and that stayed, although I'm not constantly getting in and out of that, slamming the door, only to use it to charge. What time is it? 1:15. So I made the mistake last couple of weeks ago, coming to Hoghton Towers to the supercar show and then going to queue up, and it was blazing sunshine. There was nowhere, no shelter, so I stood there for 3/4 of an hour at the front of the queue, being too warm. We'll see what happens this week. Anything else? Yes, yeah, so I mean, I'm pretty happy with everything. As you can see, we'll just go on to there. We can go back to car. That's the settings. Go on to recorder. So that's the back. I can alternate between it's the back and the front. You can only see that speaker there from the front one, or if I double click, then I can swap completely. There you go, back there, or have the back camera. Back onto mobile internet, and back to the Apple CarPlay. So it is I can thoroughly recommend this, and it's about, I think it's only about £100. I will put the link in the description if you want to buy one. Mine took about 5 days to come. They've sent me a GPS unit, which I don't need because my phone works. It will plug into a power pack if you want to plug it into a power pack with the extra USB lead and the extra aux lead, or it will plug in, or you can wire it directly in so that the parking system works. It takes a time lapse when it's parked, the dash cam in case anything happens. So you know, all really good. Read my message. Right. Well, I think ideally I need a bigger or a louder speaker. Although, to be fair, when it's playing music, it's pretty good. When it comes directly from the phone, it is pretty good. Hey Siri, play Glory by The Score. Hey Siri, pause records. So the music's loud enough, and in the morning and at night, as I say, my average speed is 15 miles an hour. To work and back in the traffic, so it's loud enough. And if you have it too loud, it sounds a bit tinny anyway. The acoustics, as you can imagine, in the Ami, you know, in your Range Rover, you've got kind of acoustic glass, and it's like a concert hall. It's ideal for listening to music. The Ami, not so much, especially with the windows, you know, the window open here. It's all good. I am pleased with the reversing camera. More pleased with the one I fitted. The other one I actually stuck to the back of the seat here, and it was okay, but it was a bit bouncy. Not ideal. As I say, this is a little bit flexible. Tim from Me and Mon Ami, he fitted one last week. I promise you, this was already planned. I'm not copying. I hate it. Tim's is pretty much the only channel I watch on about Amis, and that's more to see the scenery in the south of France, because I love the south of France. So I don't copy people, or I try not to copy people. That's not me. But I think if you look back, before I even got it, I'd been sent an Apple CarPlay unit to fit, and so I'm not a copycat. And it's a good system. I'm sure there's a way of watching YouTube on it as well and stuff, but I don't need to do that or want to do it. So there'll be a way of mirroring your phone. Oh, we must be early. There's no photographer. waiting.
Showing it.
No, I'm not.
General public, just
Yeah.
if you follow the track round there.
Will do. Thank you. To be fair, they always ask me the same question. Are you showing it? People love these Amis, and the car show at Lytham that I was at last week. Somebody in the forum said that they'd shown their car. Do you know? I never asked them what sort of interest they got, but my car was parked across the road, and that was drawing crowds. You know, there was a classic car show with millions of pounds worth of cars, and there's a big crowd around my Citroen Ami. So they draw crowds. People love them. If you've got no friends, then wherever you go, you will meet somebody who wants to talk about the car. So it's right. Not that I've ever been to a singles club, but it's like a singles club that I would imagine. People come up talking all the time, everywhere you go. I came here last week and there was a chap waiting for me or 2 weeks ago, there's a chap waiting for me to get out the car so he could talk to me and ask me about it. And I think more and more people are realising that for the price of them, you know, they're not dear. When you take into account the amount a Range Rover tax is, £340, just for the road tax, I can, thank you, I can run this car for a year on the price of the road tax. I'm not liking this at all. I've got an awful feeling that I might get, I'm trying to follow other people's tyre tracks. There you go. Yeah, so here we are anyway. That's my trip. Back, I'll just show you again quickly this. Amazon Music, Spotify. Will Spotify work again? I don't know whether I've logged in here. Spotify, yeah, there you go, Spotify. So, there we go. Amazon Music, messages, podcasts, audio books, your calendar. My fingers, somehow they don't work on touch screen, so no events today. I've not put this in, but you know, this destinations, 12 tellers, and there's you can put a pin on if you want. It's a brilliant system. So thanks for watching this week's or today's video. I'm going to remember to put the handbrake on so it doesn't end up in that stream there, and we'll go and see what the cars are like. I'll try and take some photos, and I'll cut the photos in at the end. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.